Hello and welcome to the lab. Today we're going to be talking about these connectors that are commonly found on LiPo batteries. These are JST connectors with a 2mm pitch, and they're very common, but there is a problem. There's two conventions on how these connectors are wired. And the convention shown here is seen from this top view. The black negative wire is on the left, and the red positive wire is on the right. So when I plug in this LiPo battery, I better be sure that the polarity is the right way around, so I don't do any potential damage on my board. And when I buy a LiPo battery, it could be either direction. So the other convention is that the red wire is on the left and the black wire is on the right. It seems to be that the school of thoughts here is split right down the middle, so depending where you buy your LiPo battery from which vendor, this convention is going to be one way or the other, and then depending on what board you buy, it might not match or might match. So you have to be very careful. But it is easy to change out the wires to flip the polarity around, and that's what we're going to show today. So let's practice on this connector here. Let's say I want to pull out the red wire first. I'm going to hold the red wire with my middle finger and my thumb. And you see I have a little bit of a jiggle inside this wire. Always jiggles just a little bit, about a sub-millimeter jiggle, maybe a millimeter. And I'm going to use my index finger to push up against the connector. And so then there's tension between the wire and the connector. And so when I'm pulling it, I can pull it out. And I can also push it inwards and pull it outwards. And we're going to be using both of those motions. I'm going to be using a very small flathead screwdriver to lift that flap. So let's go take a look under the microscope. Here we are. The goal here again is to lift this flap as the least amount required so that the hook underneath is freed up. If you lift it too much or you're too aggressive, then you are risking fatiguing this joint right here, and then that this flap is no longer secure, and you don't want that. So don't do this too many times and don't be too aggressive. Now, I've practiced this countless times, and there's two ways to do this with this screwdriver. Either you're going from the side, going into here, and then twist the screwdriver this way to lift up that flap. Now, that's definitely possible, and I've done successful many times, but you might do some indentations on the housing on the outside here. So the other way I'm going to try, so you can see this jiggle of this wire. See that? It jiggles right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push inwards to make the biggest gap that I can here. And then hopefully, it's a little bit difficult. I'm going to come in from the top. I'm going to come in from up here. It's difficult because I've got the camera right in the way. See, I've got in there. I'm going to lift it up. Now I'm going to apply tension between the wire and the connector. And there you go. I lifted it just enough so that the hook can go underneath it. Not any more than that. And now I can just pull it out. Here's the hook. And there's no damage done to this at all. It looks great. I'll put that aside. And you can see a little bit of markings from the screwdriver, but it's not so bad. So again, let's do this one. And again, you can come in from the side and just turn your screwdriver head. But here I'm going to show you from the top. So hold the black wire between your middle finger and your thumb and use your index to either pull on it or push on it. Pull or push. So first we're going to push on it because I want to get my screwdriver head in between here. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to twist it up and pull, 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 and just enough so that the hook can go slide underneath. There it is. And that's the connector now. And you see there's almost no damage done at all. So let's go back here. We had the black wire on this side. Now we're going to put the black wire on that side. And make sure that it's the right way around when you insert it. You should hear a little bit of a click. There it is. And then let's do the red wire again with the hook facing up, and you should hear a little bit of a click. There it is. So that's secure, but let's take a look under the microscope. And you see it looks really good. For good measure, I'm just going to push down on this lip a little bit. You see it goes down just a bit. And push down on that just a little bit. And I don't see any fatigue on this. I think this was a good job. And so there's no loss of integrity of this connector. It looks great, it's secure, and they have the same jiggle, same secureness, but now the polarity is reversed. So I can use this now in my projects if I need the polarity of this way around. So again, you can do this once or twice on a connector. Don't do it too many times because you will eventually fatigue that little flap. But other than that, it's pretty good. So, thank you for watching.